Students who are just wanting to advance in their careers and their professional careers will find that they get a sort of a deeper understanding of communication across settings and context, and they get a good theoretical sort of background and base that they can bring to their careers and workplaces in ways that they may not have anticipated.
I've just been very impressed with how much the faculty, the administration, and students all care deeply about social justice.
We also have different age groups. We have students that are really young, like straight out of undergraduate work. And then we also have returning students. We have some very successful professionals that come back for a graduate degree. And so it makes the program really vibrant in that sense, because all of those experiences contribute to the cohort and then contribute to the project of knowledge production and engaging in the discussions of what it means to be communicating in the 21st century.
Our Department of Communication Studies is really internally diverse, right? Like we have all kinds of research going on, all kinds of methods.
Like recognizing that my research can focus on community, that when I was a student, as a faculty member, I can like choose to center community and to build community wherever I go. I think it's probably what I'm proudest of.
I see teaching as creating co-learning communities. So I'm not necessarily, the teacher teaching to students.
So a lot of students come to our program wanting to learn more about how to teach communication studies, and they want to develop pedagogical skills for teaching in general. And I think that that's something that we do really well.
We also have a lot of diversity in the program in terms of experiences with gender, for instance. We have a variety of gender expressions, and those students are welcome.
Remembering the goal and the objective, that you are here for a reason and you deserve to be here. And at the end of the day, I think, the scholarly work is not, as I said, it's not necessarily just following like what's out there or the journal articles that's out there, but like following your calling, following your own passion, your own voice. And that's what's gonna, take you and push you, move you forward, not necessarily anything else.
Academic spaces, or at least the way that I've experienced them, are often about competition and like doing things on your own and climbing this ladder and being successful. And so it can be really hard to reject that, like you go into the space and you start believing that people are better than you or that you're better than others. But I've learned that you can choose to navigate it differently with friends, by building relationships, by supporting each other, by sharing resources and knowledge.
They said I come from a transnational background, from an African background, where the teacher was always kind of like the God, and we just like follow what they say. And I think when I came to teaching, I wanted, to switch that.
The model of health and illness is changing in the United States and globally. And, the biomedical model, which kind of sort of reduces, our holistic sense of well-being and healthiness, to just, like blood levels or blood sugar levels or biological factors is kind of timing out. And a new sort of model of, that sort of integrates, biological, psychological, social, spiritual elements is kind of upon us, and it's becoming the more dominant model.
We can use kind of embodiment and reflections on embodiment as a way of trying to understand and make sense of our shared humanity.
I think students can use language and social interaction, or LSI methods, to really look at language use in a variety of different settings and contexts, and with different questions, research questions in mind. It's a very malleable way of investigating communication, to look at the language use that is constituting the environment, the setting, the identities, the relationships, the social organization, the power structures or power struggles that are in play at any given times.
My work, in a very general sense, is really looking at communication at the intersections of culture, race, class, gender, sexuality, body, and nation.
So I'm trained in multiple disciplines and also in, so things like, right, ethnic studies, performance studies, gender and sexuality studies, those are already internally interdisciplinary, right? And that's part of why I'm drawn to them.
At the core of my research, what I'm really interested in is identity and relational management through technological spaces, especially online communities. I'm interested in how people grapple with their own identities and their relationships, especially when they're going through something that feels stigmatizing.
So I care a lot about youth studies and figuring out how we can understand learning spaces outside of the classroom. That would be one thing that I really care about. I'm also passionate about critical qualitative research. So engaging in research that has a particular political motivation to it, maybe, or like that there's like a specific ethic that's guiding it, that's connected to issues of justice, again, power and oppression.
Believe in your abilities. Don't compare yourself to anyone. You're here because you deserve to be here, because you're unique.